Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Hole. My name is Cole, and today we're going to travel back to 1995 to talk about one of the most infamous alt-rock bands of all time, which is of course Radiohead. And back in 1995, the band was kind of unfairly seen as like a one-hit wonder with their song Creep, which came off their 1993 debut album. But really on this album in particular, they just went completely full blast. Just the songwriting was just leagues better than Pablo Honey. Even though Pablo Honey, I would say, is pretty underrated. It's a pretty solid album. But on the bends, they just went for it. And it's just an alt-rock masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. So I'm excited to share it with you guys. I hope you find it interesting. But anyway, so let's kick off with track number 1, which is my favorite song on the album, Planet Telex. Yeah, I just love this song. It's just such a cool, such a different sound. And I like the lyrics a lot because he's basically, as far as I can tell, talking about the fact that we all kind of fake our emotions as we go through our lives. Like we pretend that we're fine, but really deep down, you know, a lot of us are kind of broken. A lot of us are really depressed. We have a lot of issues that we don't tell anyone about. So like the song is kind of discussing the secret lives of most people, in the sense that like most people, as I said, they don't show their true selves. They don't show their emotions. They don't reveal all of the hardships that they face to other people. They just, you know, they put on a mask. They put on a front. And that's how the world sees them. So I've always thought of this song like that. I don't know if that's what it's actually about, but that's how I always think of it. But anyway, I just love this song. It's my favorite song on the album. It's a very strong beginning, let's just say that. But anyway, so let's move on to track number 2, which is called The Bends, the name of the album. Let's check it out.
Where did we go from here? The words are coming out, oh wait, where are you now? When I need you, alone on an airplane, falling asleep against the window pane, my blood will thicken. I need to wash myself again, to hide all the dirt and pain, 'cause I'd be scared that there's nothing underneath. Who are my real friends? Have they all got the bends? Am I really sinking? They're slow. Baby's got the bends. Oh no. We're not having a real friend. No, no, no.
Okay, so I have a theory about what this song is about. It's my own interpretation. Feel free to slam me with, that's not what this song is about in the comments. That's fine. So the way I think about this song is I imagine that Tom York, who's the singer-songwriter, is like reflecting on his experience as a successful musician at this point, right? Because obviously Creep was a big hit, so he's got a lot of money, so to speak. But he's kind of doubting himself, is what it sounds like. He's doubting whether he has anything really useful or interesting to say, you know, lyrically or musically. And it sounds like he doesn't want to just be relegated to one-hit wonder status. Like, he wants to actually be an artist that people look up to, right? Because as he says in the song, where do we go from here? Which I imagine is, where do we go from our, you know, our debut album and our one-hit wonder status? Then he says, the words are coming out all weird. Where are you now when I need you? So again, I just imagine that he wants to be more than just a guy who made a successful song. He wants to be taken seriously. He wants his band to be remembered for more than just one song. So that's what this song makes me think of. I don't know if that's what it's about, but, you know, feel free, again, to blast me in the comments with your own theories or whatever. But anyway, so I like this song quite a bit. But that's all I want to say about it. So let's move on to another highlight, track number 3, which is called High and Dry.
Jumps in a week, bet you think that's pretty clever, don't you, boy? Flying on your motorcycle, watching all the ground beneath you drop. You kill yourself for recognition, kill yourself to never ever stop. Another mirror, you're turning into something you are not. Don't leave me high, don't leave me dry, don't leave me high, don't leave me dry.
So in a way, I think of this as a companion piece to the Bends, right? Because on the Bends, you know, he's contemplating his career and he wants to be remembered. He wants recognition for being a great artist. And on this particular song, you know, he's talking about this motorcycle stunt rider or competition rider, whatever you call it. Somebody who's doing all these dangerous things just to be recognized, right? It's probably the one thing he's really good at, but it's something that's just like so obscure and dangerous. You know, he's looking at this guy and he's like, why the heck are you doing all this stuff? You know, you could die like at any point doing your stunts. But then he thinks about it and he's like, well, you know, in this guy's own way, he wants to be recognized and remembered. And, you know, motorcycle stunt riding is, I guess, his way of being remembered. So, you know, I guess that's fair enough. So anyway, so this song, what this song means to me is it's about everyone's journey to having some sort of legacy, to being remembered, you know, in some way, shape, or form. So that's how I interpret High and Dry. I really like this song sonically as well. But anyway, so that's all I have to say about it. Let's move on to track number 4, which is called Fake Plastic Trees.
The green plastic watering can for a fake Chinese rubber plant and a fake plastic girl. from a rubber man in a town full of rubber bands to get rid of itself. The world's around. The world's around. The world's around. The world's around.
Yeah, I like the philosophy in this song, right? Because Tom York is basically looking at this successful, on a surface level, suburban couple, right? The husband is a doctor and he makes a lot of money, and they probably have kids together that they're proud of, and they have this really nice house that the wife takes care of and makes look nice. But it sounds like, even though they're successful from an outsider's perspective, that deep down neither of them are actually truly happy. So the song is trying to make you re-examine your life. It's trying to make you think about, what actually makes you specifically happy, right? Because each one of us is different for each one of us, right? There's not one blanket answer to that. So I imagine that's what he's getting at with this song. So I can appreciate that. But again, it's another really interesting song sonically. I like it a lot. But I'm going to skip track number 5 and talk about track number 6 next, which is called Nice Dream. So you could say this song is relatively simple lyrically, but it gets me thinking, right? I mean, the song is literally about a guy who doesn't feel appreciated in his life. People don't like him, people don't respect him, people don't help him out. But he imagines a scenario where they do all those things, which is his nice dream, right? But the reason I like this song is because we can all sort of imagine in our own lives all of the things that we would like to be the opposite of what's actually happening, right? Oh, I wish the girl that I liked me back, or I wish I got that job that turned me down, or I wish that friend, or I wish that person also wanted to be my friend, because I put in all this work to be their friend, but they don't really care about me. Whatever it is, and it's important to be realistic, right? So on this song, he's dreaming about the ideal life, so to speak, but it's important to be realistic in the sense that, not everything is going to go your way, and you have to be okay with it, right? You have to be able to just say, that's just the way it is, and sometimes I can't do anything about it. And that's okay. That's life, right? Sometimes life is just like that. So anyway, this song makes me think about all these things. I like it a lot. But let's move on to track number 7, which is, I believe, the lead single. It's a really good song. It's called Just. so I can identify with this song pretty strongly. I mean, I imagine it's about depression, and the main character is depressed, and it sounds like he's having this battle in his mind as to what is the actual reason for his depression. And it sounds like on the chorus, he's convincing himself that he's doing it to himself. You know, he says, and that's why it really hurts. So like in his mind, the reason that he's depressed is because he doesn't have a strong enough mind to overcome that feeling and just be fine like all of his friends, right? But I'll tell you, as a depressed person myself, or at least seasonally depressed person, I can tell you that there are a lot of things that affect my own state of mind that I can't really control completely, which is why I take certain medications to help me with that. So like, in other words, the main character of this song, like this poor guy, in his own mind, he's convinced himself that it's all his fault, when I would personally tell him that it's not all of his fault, that sometimes we have to seek help, with therapy or pills or whatever. So it's kind of a depressing song in the sense of like this guy, he's depressed on one hand, but then he also is hating himself for being depressed. So he's got like multiple levels of just negative thinking going on. So anyway, but yeah, it's a really, really cool song on multiple levels. I like it. But anyway, let's move on to track number 8, which is another favorite of mine. It's called My Iron Lung. So as I mentioned before, by this point, the band was just seen as a one-hit wonder. And I know for a fact that this song specifically is about Tom York dealing with that, in the sense of like his iron lung is Creep and the success of Creep. And, he's dealing with this dilemma artistically of like, well, people just want to hear more songs like Creep, right? They want to hear a new song that's just like Creep, and he's worried that his career is just going to be endless, Creep imitations, essentially, right? But of course, as we all know by this point, especially after this album on OK Computer, they ditched the whole alt-rock thing and added a bunch of electronics. So it sounds like at this point on the bends, Tom York is really just struggling with the fact that like nobody's taking him as seriously as he wants them to, right? And he's worried that he's just going to end up being this joke of a band, this joke of an artist. So that's what this song means to me, lyrically speaking. But again, it's a really lovely sounding song. I like it a lot. But anyway, so that's My Iron Lung, another favorite. I'm going to skip track 9 and talk about track number 10 next, which is called Black Star.
Troubled words and troubled mind, I try to understand what is eating you. just alone. I'm laying on the black star, planted on the falling sky, blaming on the satellite. Leaves me alone.
So I imagine this song is about a horrible situation romantically where the guy really loves his girlfriend, but it sounds like the girlfriend is having some severe mental problems or family problems or some sort of problems that our hero can't really do anything about. I mean, he can show his love for his girlfriend, obviously, and that'll help somewhat. But it sounds like there's literally nothing he can do to actually fix the problem. So he's in this horrible situation where he just feels completely out of luck, right? He's thinking of things to blame for this awful predicament he's in. Because he says blame it on the black star, for instance. So he's just like, he's in this hopeless, horrible situation where he's in love with this girl. And every time he sees her feel badly, he feels badly, right? He feels her pain to some degree. So I don't envy him at all, our poor hero. But anyway, that's Black Star. That's all I want to say about it. So the last track I want to talk about with you guys is track 12, which is another favorite of mine. It's called Street Spirit Fade Out.
Rows of houses all bearing down on me. I can feel the hands touching me. All these things into position. All these things will one day swallow whole.
Yeah, so this album is pretty depressing in general. And here in the final track, basically Tom York has come to a final realization about what the point of life is, which is a pretty bleak viewpoint, but it is what it is. Basically what he says is the only point to life is to find someone to love and to have that love flourish for as long as possible. And that's it. That's basically life. Anything else, everything else is just basically pointless and stupid and temporary. The only thing that has any real meaning is your love for another human, right? So there is a positive note to this album, somewhat, on this song. You know, again, the bends is pretty much like another way of talking about depression. I would imagine, right? Having the bends, what that means to me is like being depressed, I'm assuming. But anyway, so this album is just so full of great songwriting, just classic songs, so many great singles on it. In my opinion, I hope you thought it was interesting. You know, I hope that I made you think about it in a new way or two, hopefully. But as always, you know, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you have some interpretations you want to share? I'll check them out. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It'd really help me out. But yeah, that's Radiohead. That's the Bends. Check it out and have a good one.